But in terms of durability, it's definitely up there. It ticks all the boxes. You couldn't do this on natural stone, and let alone engineered stone.
You're saying that it's already production costs.
Yeah. Exactly. I love asparagus actually, so I'm going to be eating this. Okay. So in terms of the reason why the heat doesn't affect this surface is because you may have picked up on what I said earlier. It's fired at 1300 degrees. So that being the case, this gas here, or this blowtorch, has got nothing on 1300 degrees. Okay. The other reason why it's not absorbing the oils is because it's so dense. You know that process that I described with all the natural minerals in the vat, and then it's being compressed by 44,000 tons? This is essentially fusing the materials together to ensure that the slab is so dense. Yeah. And what Dan was saying earlier about having an induction located underneath, we are exploring that, because you can, we are potentially looking at a cooking program, okay, with this. Yeah. Now personally I like my Scotch fillet medium rare, right, and as the chef I am going to have to eat this to prove, okay. So yeah, it's an incredible surface, right? Absolutely incredible surface, where from a practical point of view, you know, if Nano, like I said, takes her cottage pie out of the oven and places it directly on the surface, there's not going to be any issues whatsoever.
Just make pots out of this.
Yeah. Right, I think that's about done. Now the great thing is, I'm cutting directly on the surface as well. Okay. It's time for a taste test. Do you want to have a taste test, Mateo, or what? Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Have a little taste test. And look, we did clean this surface, so don't worry. All right? Here. Have a taste test. I love Scotch fillet, asparagus.
Oh, we gotta try it.
Yeah? Really? I'm putting you on the spot.
I think you should have.
I'm putting you on the spot too.
So do a restaurant as well. Oh, very nice.
Oh, that is yum.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Rob, do you want to try some of this? No, okay. So yeah, it's an incredible surface, and I hope after today, just with what you've seen, it's something that you would consider for some of your clients. I know that in that market, natural stone is definitely up there, but if you are looking for an option that very low maintenance, proven, we have it here. This isn't a new product. It's been around for many, many years. Okay. Any questions at this stage? No?
You say it's been around for many years, so whereabouts? Mainly America or?
Europe,
Yeah.
Asia, and the States.
Okay.
So we love to coexist with companies such as Neolith and Decton. Those companies have been around for a very long time. So in context, that sintered stone has been in the market globally for a long time. Yeah. That's why when we position ourselves, when I was talking about our price positioning, we want to be up there with them, because as a collective, we want to lift the industry. We don't want to dive to the, to the bottom, just to, drop prices to try and grab business.
Do you have to take tension out of this stone?
No, you don't.
You don't have to cut the sides first before you start?
Don't have to. There are recommendations too, but we've met stonemasons who just go, vroom. Yeah.
Yep, pulls down the stones. And if you radius the walls, of course, cutouts.
And Dan, this would probably be a good time. Can you just get that 20mm sample? So we did a test on this 20mm sample at 4 meters a minute, and actually if you can turn it around, it's that one there, yeah, on that, that's the edge that was cut.
okay.
Yeah. So this is the edge that was cut. Yeah. Of course, there still needs to be a little bit of polishing that needs to occur there,
It's literally straight off the machine.
but that's just straight off the machine. Huh?
So you can polish the edge to match the actual face?
In terms,
Opposed to luster, you know, the same kind of luster on it?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yep, you can. And in terms of the biscuit colour is the same all the way through. Yeah? So in this particular case, if the customer wants to achieve that continuous veining, the fabricator will do a 40mm miter join or a 60mm. Yeah? Or 100mm. He'll turn it down and then return it. Yeah?
So the only thing you're going to do is see the break between the vein joint.
Yeah, so it will depend on the fabricator.
Yeah.
You'll see it even in natural stone. A really good fabricator will be able to bring those two pieces together, and in terms of the matching epoxy, be able to blend and polish that in. Yeah? It's the same here.
You're always going to miss the vein though, unfortunately. Whereas
Yeah,
with
it's-
stones you don't.
Sure. Yeah. But in okay. Are you talking about when you're coming off the surface and then turn down 40mm? Yeah.
Because of the little radius, you know, you can't have it sharp.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I see what you. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yep. There will be a slight break there.
That's the only negative with it, but
Yeah.
apart from that,
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I was saying before, you see more and more designers just keeping that 12mm. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at some slabs on the A-frames. Yeah, we've got up to 280. Yeah, and then on partial overhangs, we've got all that data that can show you the different overhang details.
Because I noticed on Gavin's photos
Yeah.
that he's got 12 he's got a bit of a shadow.
He does.
All the way, obviously concealing some support there.
Yeah. And on that island section,
Yeah.
what he's done is he's used the substrate as a feature.
Right.
He's angled it back, and he's actually used it as a nice feature underneath.
Yeah.
He's cleverly done that.
Yeah.
Yeah? But
So,
when you,
so sorry.
You're
So
right.
for 20mm you can go over to 280 unsupported,
yeah,
but then 6 you wouldn't do that. But
6 you
12
wouldn't.
You need something under it.
12 if you're going over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we're using 12mm, what do we need to do to our carcasses, the strength?
Good question. Some joiners or fabricators want to use a full board,
Yeah.
right? We recommend 600mm rails supports. What's your typical cabinet width?
Yeah.
What is it though for you guys?
No, it's custom.
Typical though?
Changes all the time.
Does it change all the time?
5800.
Okay. Yeah.
So it all depends. Sync up.
Sure. So with that, in some multi-res applications, they might go 600,
Yeah.
right? Because it's smaller resi apartment,
Yeah.
no full board required, and you can go straight on. Obviously, where the sink is, they'll add a little bit more support, yeah, or the cooktop. But our minimum is 600.
What about externally, like when we do barbecue areas and we've used 12mm
Yeah.
porcelain before,
Yeah.
we've had to put FC sheeting down on top of our joinery
Sure.
and then put the porcelain on top.
Yeah.
Do we need to do anything like
That's a
that?
good question. Okay, that's more, in terms of our sintered stone, there isn't any issue. But I know why they put the FC sheeting, to protect the integrity of the cabinetry.
I think it's more with any porcelain,
Yeah.
you've got to have the glue all the way across the whole thing.
Yes.
Very much like when you're laying down a porcelain tile.
Yeah.
Otherwise you've got a
No drumming,
area
for sure.
and it can break.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the main-
Look, it's a recommendation to have that. Yeah, there is a recommendation for that. But in terms of the overall aspect of, I mean, back to the drumming, I was with a designer earlier this week who wants to use this as 12mm as a driveway. Yeah? We're looking at a beige trav in terms of the texture of it. They want to actually lay it down as a driveway. So the only recommendation we made there is make sure your substrating and what you have underneath doesn't cause any drumming. Yeah? Because again, this is almost indestructible, but it's in context of what's on top as well.
Break, use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One little rock under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can be done. You know, we've done ridiculous tests on this. Yeah, ridiculous
If the
test.
stonemason was putting a 20 mil stone bench top in your product,
Yeah.
would he just need to silicone that down to the carcass?
Yes, I can't remember he has his own type of epoxy that he would be using.
Well, a lot of the guys now use just silicone.
Yeah, we don't recommend just a silicone. Yeah, I've got to get the name for you. The only reason why we say this is because there's certain types of epoxies that move with the stone when there is movement in the flooring or the house. And the reason why this is important is because if there's movement and respect to waterfall edging, if it's not actually installed properly and the integrity of the glue or epoxy is not right, that's what causes some fracturing between those joints. So I'm not a qualified fabricator, but I've seen enough where it needs to be applied in a way where it's moving all together. Yeah, not this moving separate to the waterfall, if this makes sense. Yeah, because there are some instances where they say, oh no, it cracks. Yeah, but it's not cracking the slab, it's cracking along the joins, but then you peel back the layers to how was it installed. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Cool.
Good.